Hello everybody, today, it's been a while since I did a homemade Who Would Win book video. I made two of them, so this is my third one. And you're probably wondering, why is this one a full page Who Would Win book, homemade? Well, this is one of my older ones. It's in marker, and this is one of my favorite ones I made right here. This is one of my favorite ones, but also one of my most inaccurate ones because I was yet an idiotic child when I made this book. But anyways, it is called Who Will Win Ultimate Great Lakes Rumble. I just like the Great Lakes just because apparently some of the states up north appear to have like the 5 lakes, the 5 big lakes. Probably the top 5 largest lakes in the world, I think. Originally this was going to be Ultimate Lake Rumble, but why not do Ultimate Great Lakes Rumble with the 5 lakes up north? And yeah. Also, it's very inaccurate, so don't judge my bullhead catfish having teeth and some others. But anyways, let's get right into it. On the cover, got the pike, lamprey, bullhead catfish, largemouth bass. Very gorgeous creatures. And let's get right into it. Who will win Ultimate Great Lakes Rumble? What will happen if 16 fish from the 5 Great Lakes had a battle tournament? Who will win? If a fish loses the match, it is out of the competition. The muskellunge will be facing off the steelhead trout. The muskellunge lives in the tall weeds to strike at its prey. The rainbow trout gets its name for the pink stripes in its body. The trout is one of the famous Great Lakes fish. Rainbow trout, steelhead trout, the same thing. I prefer calling it steelhead trout. I just like to call it steelhead trout. The fight does not take long while the muskellunge is in the weeds and the steelhead trout isn't. While the steelhead trout's in the weeds and the muskellunge strikes and bites the trout by the tail. The steelhead trout tries to fight back, but it is no match for the muskellunge. Muskellunge wins. There are different species of bluegills in the world. It gets its name for the bluegills on it. There are so many of them that they allow the people to fish for them. This rare invasive species is a lamprey. It may look like an eel, but they are more like a giant leech. It can suck blood from other fish and leave their bite mark to the fish's skin. As the bluegill swims near the shallow water, the lamprey sneaks up and bites the side of the bluegill. The bluegill does wiggle and fight back, but the lamprey does not let go and sucks a lot of blood. Lamprey wins. Walleyes are vicious fish. They are also a decent fighter. Walleyes swim up to the current and seize a school of salmon down the current. All salmon are huddled up in a group and one decides to go for a fight. The walleye will have a fishy salmon for supper. This is a coho salmon, by the way. As you can tell. The salmon has a big mouth, but they are useless in a fight like this. That's also inaccurate. The walleye swims up to the salmon and bites the salmon a couple of times and eventually dies. The salmon sinks to the bottom. Walleye wins. Salmon do have teeth, and trout also have teeth. I don't know why I did not give trout and salmon teeth. Apparently, I do know that the walleye have teeth, but I did not know salmon and trout have teeth, so I decided not to give them teeth. But now I do know that they have teeth. Once again, I was an idiotic child when I made this book, so I wasn't 100% sure about these fish facts. But anyways, let's continue. This fish, the yellow perch, are really hard to find, and it's for its tiny size. They're only about the size of your cell phone. The yellow perch has been eaten by a lot of fish, and the face is not as big. Wow, the sturgeon can be 9 feet long. This leaping beast looks prehistoric. Watch out, this sturgeon is a very tremendous fighter, but it needs to defeat its opponents. So it's a fight between the smallest fish of the Great Lakes and the largest fish in the Great Lakes. So clearly, you can tell who wins this one. This fight is the matchup between a small skittish fish and a huge tremendous fighting machine. The sturgeon has a larger tail and bigger fins. It can also turn better than the yellow perch. The fight does not take long. Sturgeon wins. Obviously. Meet our famous fighter, the northern pike. It can use its muscular body and razor sharp teeth to attack. It is also a decent fighter, so watch yourself to your famous pike. A striped bass gets its name for the stripes on its side. It may look different from the other bass, but it does have a big mouth. It will face off with its massive mouth, try and bite. Also, I don't think there's striped bass in the Great Lakes. I don't think. So that's also inaccurate, I think. The striped bass puts up a good fight, but the pike is too big, too powerful, and too ferocious for the striped bass to bite. The pike then bites it in the head and swallows the whole. The big bite is fatal. Pike wins. The lake whitefish swims near the shallow area of the lake. They can be a foot long and can be a bit threatened to other fish. It decides to swim near the weeds. The bullhead is a species of the catfish. It is hiding in the weeds to strike at its opponent. It sees the whitefish coming low in the shallow bottom. The bluegill surprises the bullhead surprises the lake whitefish and attacks it. The lake whitefish eventually can't escape from the sharp teeth from the bullhead. Another inaccurate writing right there. The bullhead stings the whitefish and the whitefish dies from the venom. Bullhead fish wins. Another I don't think catfish have venom. I thought they did, but eh. But yeah, also I give bullhead fish teeth. I thought it looked cool, but catfish are bottom feeders, by the way. And a bullhead fish is a species of a catfish. This is a black bullhead, by the way. And yeah, they don't have teeth. It's a bottom feeder. Yeah, an idiotic child I was. Yeah, get it over with. A largemouth bass swims with its large mouth open. It can be around 2.5 feet long. It can swallow anything it can get into its big mouth. They are not afraid to fight enemies. This species is a freshwater sunfish. Unlike the bluegill, it doesn't have blue gills, and it's more yellow color. It is very skittish and fast, and it tries to escape the bass. The sunfish swims away with its speed, but the bass caught up to it and sucks the sunfish with its large mouth. The sunfish does its best to hurt the bass, but it doesn't work. The bass now chews the sunfish to pieces. Largemouth bass wins. Okay, our final match. In round 1, puts up a big trash eater and a long flesh biter. This is a carp. It eats anything like trash. It can fight other fish, but it is more afraid. It's more skittish. A gar has a large snout with a flesh bite. It would easily snap the carp in half, but you never know who eventually wins or not. The gar swims up to the carp. I think that's also inaccurate. Gars don't live in the Great Lakes. They apparently live in Louisiana and those states. The carp usually only eats trash and litter. It wouldn't know how to attack the gar. The gar swims up at the carp and attacks it. Then it takes up chunks off the carp and the carp sinks. Gar wins. We are over in round 1 and entering round 2. Only 8 fish are left in the competition. We have made it to the second round. The muskellunge has a big and long body with sharp teeth to bite the lamprey in half. The lamprey sneaks up to the muskellunge. The lamprey can use its mouth to bite and stick onto the muskellunge's side, but the muskellunge knew what is creeping up on him. Being sneaky is a good strategy, but eventually has been spotted by the bigger, stronger muskellunge. The muskellunge makes a sharp turn and quickly bites the lamprey by the neck. The lamprey will be dead in front of an asking muskellunge. Muskellunge wins. Some people might say that walleye will make it to the championship. Will it? It must beat the sturgeon in the second round with its nasty teeth. The sturgeon is not afraid and shows off his bigger size. It is ready to ram the walleye on its side. The walleye has teeth to bite the sturgeon. The sturgeon bumps the walleye with its massive body. The walleye is in big trouble. The sturgeon goes underneath the walleye and delivers a big nose bump to the underbelly. Sturgeon wins. The vicious pike wins the first attack of the bullhead fish. The pike dives down by the rocks. One of the rocks is the bullhead fish's habitat. The bullhead fish can use its whiskers to sting. To sting the pike. The pike does not want to go for the head. Instead, it goes for the tail. The pike attacks. It surprises the bullhead and bites it. The pike knows the bullhead's whiskers are stingers. The bullhead fish tries to escape, but it's too late as the pike gets a crack bite to the tail. The smaller, skittish, and stupid-looking bullhead became lunch for the larger, stronger, and nastier pike. Pike wins, obviously. It's largemouth versus skinny and longmouth. The bass would swallow the gar whole, but the gar has teeth to bite the bass in half. The gar decides to go down and dives at the lake bottom. The bass is not as agile as the gar or as intelligent. The gar has bigger teeth and a longer snout than the largemouth bass. The bass is too slow to escape. The gar can swim better and make tricky moves. Don't mess with an old pro. And it just snapped the bass in half. Gar wins. The semifinals is set. Muskellunge, sturgeon, pike, and Gar. All the bottom feeders are gone. Another inaccurate writing right there. Sturgeon is a bottom feeder. There are only 4 contestants left. Welcome to the Great Lakes Final Four. Both muscons and sturgeon swim near each other. One has the advantage to swim faster and bite faster, while the other one has the advantage to bump and ram with its body. So first one was the muskellunge and the second one was sturgeon. So muskellunge, sturgeon. This is a serious fight. Someone's going to get hurt. The sturgeon rams at the muskellunge. Boom. The muskellunge slowly sinks. Sturgeon wins. The pike and gar both got teeth and fangs and long body. The pike dives down deep, which is its strategy. The gar swims near the opening and can't see the pike. The gar would attack the pike, but doesn't know where or what the pike is going to do. This actually would be a great fight right here if they would meet. The pike attacks the gar from below. It rips the underbelly of the wounded gar. The pike then bites the gar by the tail and drags it. Both fish may be the same size, but the pike is stronger and wins the battle. Pike wins. Championship match, pike versus sturgeon. We have made it to the final match between the pike and the sturgeon. Teeth versus whiskers, biter versus rammer. The sturgeon tries to ram the pike from below. The pike stays close to the bottom. As the sturgeon attacks, the pike with its better turns than a faster swimmer bites into the sturgeon. And let's see who's our winner. The vicious pike is more aggressive than the ramming sturgeon. The sturgeon would win, but in this fight, the pike is a better fighter and wins the whole tournament. Pike wins. This is one way the competition might have ended. Write your own ending or think of a new version of an ultimate from a book. And there you have it. Pike wins the Ultimate Great Lakes Rumble Tournament. I just love the pike. I love how the pike looks. They're very strong. All fish are strong, but I think the pike. Actually, I just love the pike. I love the pike to win, so I chose it to win. And so basically, these are the fish that I like to win in the final four. And thank you so much for. Thank you so much for listening to my video. Make sure you give it a like, subscribe. I will do more Who and books and some more total drama stuff. Anyways, bye-bye.